Beyond all space and time that is known to any man, there is a radio broadcast. It exists in the vast seal of souls somewhere between timeless and infinity. It is the middle ground between real space and the warp, between chaos and order, and it lies between the pit of your fears and well of knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is the show which we call
Hello,
WarpStorm
everybody. Welcome
Radio.
back to WarpStrom Radio. I'm joined here by my two co-hosts, the Corn Cell 40K and Tryhard 40K. And today we're recording at a later time than usual, because all three of us, including our editor, have just come back from RTT events on this Saturday, and we have some glorious tales to tell, along with some very helpful tips that could help you prepare for a tournament, and some just general sportsman etiquette type stuff that could help level up the experience or other people you happen to meet up with and pair into during your day. So let's get into it. But first, an announcement, and then we can take us like 5 seconds here, and then prepare like a merch plug. If either of you two wants to read that.
I'll read
Buy
it.
our t-shirts,
You
and
do
I'll send you
shirts this time?
The new shirts are going to be out probably by the time this drops. Maybe.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, I'm coming at you with a hot and steamy announcement fresh off the presses. We, WarpStorm Radio, your favorite podcast, is going to have more merch dropping very soon. So stay on the lookout for the Uncle Ted t-shirt with a Gene Stealer on it. We also have I'm spending one CP to Tank Shock with a Killdozer on it. And then we also have our existing merch, such as Kill Your Local Lore Tuber, because fuck those guys. And the great shirt, Menace to Sobriety. We wore it to the RTT today. It was dope. A lot of people complimented it. You can get compliments too if you buy it. If you don't buy it, you're never going to get compliments and nobody loves you.
All right, guys. So, how was the Corn Cell and Tryhard went to an event together. I went to an event with the editor. How did your guys' side of the events go?
Broke somebody,
yeah,
and then I broke
we-
somebody again afterwards.
Care to elaborate, bro?
I'm never gonna make again.
Yeah.
Sorry, King Julian.
Yeah. Another
We love you.
AdMic person off the streets. AdMic players are like fentanyl. We need to get them off the streets.
So me personally, I went in there fully expecting to just go 1-2, just get one win and then leave. I ended up going 2-1, so that was awesome. My first round was against AdMech, and I kind of beat the brakes off of him. I wanted to hold back a bit because I didn't want to score too many points and then pair into some like hyper chud. And then Tryhard then paired into that person turn 2, so he got my sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
Which is really funny. We ran
looked
a
at him in the
two-man
face.
on AdMech.
I looked at him in the face and I said, once I kill your iron ballistas chicken guys, then you have my permission to die.
Dude.
I ended up.
This guy asked
getting...
me a fucked up question that was funny. I'm going to tell him real quick. I deep strike Scarbrand 6 inches away, and he says, "Can you charge after that?" And I said, "Yup." And I'm going to shove him right up your ass.
I can't believe I didn't hear that across the room.
Yeah, I was pretty loud.
You were really loud.
What was up with the Voxcaster strat, dude?
Yeah, bro. I hit him with a 1 CP Roxcaster strat.
Yeah. Round 2, I ended up getting paired into a Hyper Chud who's really cool. He ended up winning the event, so I don't even care that I got low-key tabled by him. He was playing Death Guard, It was Mortarion, a fuck ton of bloat drone, plague marines, rhinos, spawn, and like poxwalkers.
Those spawn are good too, right?
I thought world leaders spawn were good. Death Guard spawn
Little
might
did you
be
know.
better.
Little did you know, Death Guard spawn are better.
Yeah, there was like a weird hookup where like I kept activating Fight on Death, and that just procced his ability to deal mortals. And so like the 3 spawn or like the 2 spawn that he had ended up taking out a whole thing of 8-bound just because of Fight on Death. It was fucked. I was pissed. And then round 3, I got paired into Tau, and I did that man dirty.
You broke that man's spirit.
Broke that man. There's funny stories that we'll tell later in the podcast, but that was my RTT experience. I ended up going 2-1.
That man immediately went home and just hit the bottle hard. And he's listening to that song Whiskey Lullaby, you know what I'm talking about? It's just like, I put the bottle to my head, pull the trigger. And he's looking at his Farsight model, dude, the whole time.
I promise you, if you look up on eBay right now, used Tau lot, you'll find his models.
Dude. The description says, get me out of this hobby. I ask dumb questions.
Dude, so before I even say mine, I'm gonna like talk about our editor's experience, because this was his first ever event, and I told him your goal should be to win a single match, and that he did. He went 1-2, and I'm so proud of him.
He won a game.
He won a game.
What round was it?
3.
All right, no comment. I don't want to embarrass him.
It's something. It's okay, because so round 1, the pairings were awful just across the board. It was like 8 people just got absolutely bent over. So after round 1, like 6 people just immediately dropped. So then round 2, so our editor lost round 1, but then round 2 got paired into someone that won their round 1. So he just got like back-to-back awful matchups. He played World Leaders the first round, Admech the second, and he was just like mauled it. Like I could tell at the start of round 2 or at the start of round 3, he was just like so sick of this. Like I'm like, I feel bad that I like made him come here, because he's like kind of, it doesn't sound like he's having a great time, but by the end he was having a blast. But yeah, no, he played Admech round 3. We can just say, I'll just leave it at the guy playing the Admech was not the best 40k player on the planet, considering he went 0-3. But
he rocked Admech.
Similar Admech experiences.
Yeah, I feel like that's the general conciseness this weekend. Is just like people think Admech are good, but they're not good at the game, so they pick up Admech.
King Julian.
It's the same thing when GSC was good. It was just like, oh, GSC really good now. I'm gonna drop $2,000 on GSC, and I'm gonna expect to auto win my games, but when I don't, I'm gonna sell them.
Dude, it was, you know, overall though, I feel like he had a good time. I'm trying to convince him now if he wants to go to an event like a couple weeks from now. But yeah, try hard. How was your event experience for this weekend?
So all right. So I will preface that I played this event sober. All right.
Oh, he's nerfed.
I was nerfed. My skill set was nerfed. I found out that people who drive drunk and are good at it have a special part of their brain that activates as like almost like a backup drive, and it allows them to access the skills that they learned when they were that they have when they're non-inebriated. And I feel like that's the same with me for 40k, because the minute that sweet liquor touches my lips, I just become really good at the game. It's a problem. It's an awesome problem. Yeah, so it was an open event, so I couldn't get anything in there. So I took my Joe Rogan's Alpha Brain in the morning, and I I paired into Grey Knights round 1. And Grey Knights are like kind of like a weird pairing for demons because it's like whoever goes first gets uppy downy, or goes second gets uppy downy priority. And he went first, and essentially what happened was I had him on the ropes all the way until turn 5, and I just didn't do the damage I needed to his damaging outputs. I prioritized his scoring units first, which I typically do. And I essentially lost the game by 6 points, or like 5 points. And that entirely came down to passing a battle shock test. If I passed the battle shock test, I would have scored 6 and won by a point.
Dude, that's rough.
Yeah. And the guy was not keeping score. He's like, I have you at a 78 right now. I'm like, dude, no. That's not. I mean, if you want to give me a 78 and you lose the game, you can give me a 78, but that's not really what happened. You're rewriting history here. You win this game, sir. And then I played Admech round 2, and I just broke this man's spirit. He was a really nice guy. I had a good time. I don't think he had a good time. So
No, I think he ended up going 0-3 the entire event.
You know that South Park gif where it's like, you're going to have a bad time, bro?
Oh
That's-
yeah,
Yeah, that's what it was. So turn 1, I engaged his whole army with my infiltrating and scouting units, and I tagged him up, and I'm like, hey, do you have fallback and shoot? He's like, yeah, with 1 unit. I'm like, bet. So he didn't do any shooting round 1. And yeah, I just controlled the board, and I made him make bad decisions. I had all my greater demons up until turn 5, and he killed Rodriguez turn 5, so it's like it's a wrap. And then my round 3, I played somebody who's also running AdMech. I kept AdMech off the streets this weekend. You know, I'm not saying I'm a hero, but if you want to call me that, I'll take it. This AdMech player was a sweet dude. He really loved Castellan robots. He said to me, he's like, I love Castellan robots. They're my favorite model in the game. This detachment makes them good. And then he went on a 30-minute rant. Not really. He went on a rant about how great they are. So I proceeded to pick up his Castellan robots in 2 turns. And you know, I'm not saying he cried when it happened, but I did see a single manly tear flow down his face. And, you know, he whispered in the wind. He said, I love you, Castellan robots. I love you. I kid you not, bro. He was just like, yeah, Castellan robots are toughest 9. They have a 2-up save, 5-up invul, there's 7 wounds, they're OC3, they have every rule in the game, and I was just like, all right.
Did he read it?
Well,
did he like list it off from memory, or did he have like his codex with him?
Dude, it was all from memory, dude. He was a Castellan stan, bro. I respect that. But as a big body Bellicorp stan, you know, D6 +1 dev wounds goes burr. And yeah, dude, I felt bad afterwards. I hope he doesn't sell his army.
I didn't feel
Like,
bad for what I did today.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for what you did to the Tau player, dude.
I don't. I really.
So picture in your mind's image the song from JoJo's Part 5, "Freaking You" by Jodakai, and just picture an 8-bound lovingly holding Farsight from behind, and that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and get into that story. So this was round 3. We were at like tables 6 out of no, there
8?
was 7 tables. Yeah, 6 out of 8.
6
We were
tables. Yeah, sir, 7 tables out of 8.
We were bottom table.
You were on bottom table, bro. Yeah, you came right back up from that bottom, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, exactly.
You pushed him down, dude. It was like a Titanic situation. You said there's
and
not enough room on this door for the both of us, and you kicked his ass right in the water, and he
there wasn't
drowned.
enough room in the bed, so I had to push his head into the pillow.
Yep.
So he was playing Retcod, which is one of the only Tau detachments that I respect. That and Crew Hunting Pack. And he was going. I didn't pay attention to a fucking word he said. It was very clear that he had never played World Eaters because I basically had to explain my entire army to him, like blessings, detachment roll, everything. And the way that he was setting shit up, I both did and didn't want to say anything because I wanted to be like, hey man, I want you to know that the way that you're setting shit up, I'm going to be able to touch 3/4 of your army turn one. And then the other part of me was like, fuck it, let it ride. I would like 100 points, please.
I'm betting
Because this
everything
was
on
Purge the
red
Foe.
for
This was,
Angron.
yeah, exactly. This is Purge the Foe too. So I was like, he's starting to geek out. And he ends up getting first turn and he shoots and I think he picks up my Goremongers, which I was like, okay, cool. I pay CPK that objective. That's mine now. And then when I play, I usually pair a squad of 8-bound and a squad of spawn because they just work well together. And I end up picking up 2 keels and some other battle suits turn 1. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's a taste of what you're going to be getting every single turn. So just get ready for that. And some other things that happened. He brought Farsight in from Deep Strike, and he was
He's the
about to
only
shoot him.
towel we respect on this podcast,
Yeah,
as far
it's
as
the only time that I respect. So shooting at me in my Karn brick, and I was like, "Hey, man, I want to let you know you're within 8 of my berserkers. If you shoot them and you don't kill them all, they're going to blood surge into you and kill you." And he goes, "I actually checked. You're 7.5 inches away. I don't think you're going to be able to get a 7." And I was like, "Okay, man." And then he finished shooting, and I said, I'm going to pay 1 CP to auto blood surge 8, and I'm going to get into engagement range with you. And then I ended up picking up Farsight.
rip.
And at that point, I saw that man die. Like his heart shattered inside.
It's just like, my 2 favorite things in life are Farsight and winning games. And I didn't get
That's the
either of
only
those
reason.
today.
That's the only reason I said, because Farsight is the only Tau that I respect.
Farsight is low-key Corn influence. I was telling you earlier, which is based. We need Chaos Tau right now.
What else happened during that game? I completely I'm starting to forget.
I just remember coming over your table turn battle round 1 and like looking at it, and I was like, all right, I see what's going on here. And just walking away.
Yeah, you did that with every game.
Yeah. Yep. And like the game you were losing, I was like, I said, is this all dead? And you're like, yep. I'm like, okay.
Yep, and that was the game I got tabled.
I just addressed your games with like cold indifference.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, I can't make Dad upset.
It's cold indifference.
Dude, that's great. My overall experience was kind of mixed because round 1 was kind of great. I had a great game. However, my opponent wasn't like the nicest person. So he's running Niz, he's running Vanguard. It's 30 Gene Sealers and a bunch of like the Raveners, and he has
Did
them
you
all.
have the character in there or no?
Yeah, the Broodlords,
the Hood Lord.
Yeah, whatever the Gene Sealer character is.
Eddie, when you're listening to this, can you make a picture of a Broodlord wearing Tim's and a Echo jacket? Thank you.
And a Yank flatback.
Okay. But yeah, no, I like explained my army rule and I explained like literally everything. First of all, I opened, do you have experience playing orcs? He goes, yeah, I know orcs really well.
I've never lost orcs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he just immediately hits me. So can you explain everything? Like, okay. So I go
It's like
through
I actually
everything.
play orcs. That's what he said.
I've had people do that to me. That's the crazy thing. I actually play your army and then like proceed to question literally fucking everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So this guy is like, I explain everything and I explain, yeah, I'm gonna like be able to mulch basically everything here. It's not looking great for you, to be completely honest. He goes, well, I don't really care. And he goes, I'm gonna like put everything on the line, scout eight, and then turn one charge, and we'll see how you're feeling about that then. It's not a direct quote. I'm like kind of ad-libbing here, but that's
you,
kind
you,
of how it
you,
came
you,
off.
you sure about that? You sure about that,
Yeah.
pal?
Yeah, he basically he turned one charges like six, like maybe 800 points of models to kill Snickrot and three bikes.
Nice. Great trade. I'd
Great
make that
trade.
deal. Would you make that deal?
I'd make that deal.
Damn good deal.
That's a great clip.
Yeah.
But like he also gets into Maz, and Maz has a 3-up, 4-up, 5-up, and he just like tanks all the saves, and he's like takes 3 wounds total, and he's like pissed at this, like that's not fair. Like he shouldn't be that tanky. I'm like, I told you he's tanky. You should take my word. He goes, well, no, and then Ogre is like just mauling. Maz picks up like 6 gene sealers because he's just the goat. Um. And then
Yo, are
it's
you
my
gonna
turn.
paint your Maz like a shark?
Oh yeah, I am. I'm actually like as we're recording right now, I'm like doing small detail shit on Maz.
You should paint him like a tiger shark.
Yeah. You should.
Dude, that'd be peak. He's a great weight. But yeah, no. He now is like pressuring me like, so you're gonna wah? Are you gonna wah? I'm like, no. It's like, why aren't you gonna wah? And I'm like, well, the whole main benefit of the wah is like the advance and charge, and you kind of just like DoorDash, Uber Eats style, just dropped off your entire army on my doorstep. So like, I'm gonna like wait until you actually give me like stuff that I need to go out and get. He goes, well, you need like the killing potential to like get rid of. I'm like, I really don't. He's like, oh
So
yeah. I'm
he's
like, yeah.
gaslighting you into whying.
He's like trying. Yeah, he's like trying to
He's
gaslight.
trying to edge you into whying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially. And I'm like kind of sick of it. Like, I'm like, okay, this kind of sucks. But I'm like, okay, so I disembark the truck which has knobs right next to Maz. I move. By the way, the charge he did in the Snickrat, he rolled like a box cars, right? He could have gotten like into the boys if he wanted to. It would have been like a difference of 2 inches, but he decided not to. So that's great. So the boys just move up like an inch to make it an unfailable, and then the bikes are directly in front of my battle wagon, which has Gaz. So Gaz and his boys get out, and then I make all the charges, obviously, because they're like literally an inch away. And then I'm like, okay, you only have 1 CP. All right, what are you gonna do? He goes, I'm not gonna do anything yet. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I say, I'm gonna go pick up the first unit with Gaz, and Gaz alone kills like 8 of the gene sealers, and then I'm like, okay, I'm now gonna roll 18 attacks with the mega knobs, and he already just picks it up. I'm like, okay, it's a little hasty, but I feel you, man. That's all right. And I'm like, all right, we're gonna get like 57 attacks at the boys. It's like 57. How was that possible? And I'm like explaining the law to him. And then as I'm like counting the dice out, he's like on his phone googling the law. Like,
What's funnier, was he using the 40K
Just
app?
figure
What app was he using?
no, he's using Wikipedia.
He's using Wapedia to check the Wa.
Yeah, he was like trying to verify that I could get all these. I'm like, yeah. He's like, they all have choppas. I'm like, yeah, no shit. I'm
No,
like,
these are actually shooter boys. I decided to make a bad decision when I woke up today.
so yeah. I pick up those gene sealers. Go figure. Oh yeah, he was like, oh well, I'm gonna because he has like some kind of enhancement or like strat or something. I have no fucking clue, but he like can make 3 units -1 to hit. He was like, I'm gonna do the boys, Gaz, and the knobs. I'm like, Okay, man. So the knobs are the only ones that are really affected because Gaz and the boys are +1 to hit, so like they're still basically hitting like normally. Thank you though. He was really mad about that. And then like I pick everything up, and then he has this big like, oh, I'm gonna deep strike all my stuff in. I'm like, okay, cool. And then he like puts it 12 inches away, does literally nothing with it. I'm like, okay, cool. And then Gaz walks forward, uh, gets like a 6-inch charge off, and then picks up the entire unit of that Raveners. And then he's like basically tabled at this point. He only brought one like big bug, and it was the winged Tyranid, whatever, the big dude with the massive fucking wing.
So his detachment's all about like strategically just propping Lone Op and just making himself not able to be shot while he charges you. And you just don't have any good shooting, so it's just a bad matchup for him.
Yeah, oh yeah, I don't the other thing that was like really bizarre is he drew no Priz one turn, and he kept trying to like precision out my characters. He's like, well, I need the no Priz points. I'm like, okay, cool. You're down 1,000 points right now, and I've only lost Snickrot and 3 bikes. Like I don't think
Dude, you
like
needed the no Priz points, bro. Let this man live.
it was just
That's
it,
clearly like a galaxy brain strat of spending your CP to get 3 points.
Dude, I'd
oh my
make that.
god, it was
Yeah, I
it
would
was
also
just
make that deal. It's a damn good deal.
a damn good deal. The damn good deal was the knobs just absolutely hauling ass and just he was like, it's how many attacks? And they're like, they're strength 10? How are they strength 10? And I'm like, because the wall. He's like, but I charged you. And I'm like, yeah, that still applies. They're like, I thought it was on the charge. I'm like, I never said it was on the charge. Are you
This
high?
absolute
Like,
man child,
Yeah,
dude.
utter
But I
buffoon.
charged you, and he's like slamming his fist on the table, crying.
I feel like a little bit of this could be like is a little bit over exaggerated, but like this is like what the guy is
Nah,
like
dude. In my
saying.
head, this guy is doing like an anime protagonist like monologue,
Yeah,
and he
Oh
doesn't
my
it's
god.
think you see him.
My
it's like a
final
whole
Like
straw
like
you
though.
do.
monologue where he's like, "Damn it, he got me.
If only I had trained harder and
How could he
listened to Master
improve this?"
Shoyo.
I spit out my Gatorade all over Maz.
At the end, he's just like, maybe the real game was the friends we made along the way. And you're like, dude, fuck you.
He
Fuck
wasn't
you.
there to make new friends, dude.
I should
He
start
was really
saying that line. I should start saying that line at the end of games. Maybe the real 40,000
Yeah, but you have to wear,
parameters
you have to push
we
up your
made along the
glasses
way.
like an anime character when you do
Yeah.
it and look like dramatically to the left or
I
right.
do that. I do that with the spam glasses. Like whenever I have like a really bad volley of saves, and I'm like, I like push up really dramatically. I make 0 saves, and then like it always gets like a giggle, like at least every single time.
You got to just be moving like you're a dubbed anime character and going, "Aw," when you fail all your saves.
But this it's dude, the mission's scorched earth, right? And I'm not paying attention to primary, but like I want to max out my score because I like getting 100. I like seeing that in my app. Okay, I like seeing that on the BCP, and I want the points because you promised me cans for points. So I was like, oh, I
I
want to get the
did.
most. So I wanted to get the most amount of points as humanly. So this guy is like, I realize that it's round 4 and I haven't burned anything yet, and he's tabled. He has one model left, and it's my depot zone, and he just keeps doing this like fall back and move 3 inches just so I like won't kill him with cans and melee. It's whatever like the like really cool Tyranid that like has lone up and everything.
Dude, Tyranids are so cool.
They are, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like, I have stuff on your home. I'm just gonna burn your home. He's like, what? No, that's dude, don't do that.
Nani?
I'm like, what? Huh? He's like, dude, that's just bad sportsmanship. I'm like, what the fuck
Dude,
are
I
you
don't care. I
talking? Like,
hate you.
You know
you
it's
were,
bad sportsmanship? Being a beach.
dude. That if you're gonna say that was bad sportsmanship, the like me tabling you 2 rounds ago should have been bad sportsmanship, dude. I don't know, like, is me like wanting to max out my points? Does that make me the villain? Like,
Yes.
If also
okay,
tabling someone turn two makes you a bad person, then I'm a fucking monster for what I did
Dude,
today.
I'm imagining this guy going home to his Discord kitten and just being like, they were so mean to me at the shop.
No, he's
no, you
mad
know
as
what?
fuck. He's like, "You're not getting fucking nitro tonight."
He fucking
No, well,
looks at his reflection in the mirror and spits on it. He's just like, you scum. You
what
were
made it
supposed to make a friend.
what made it
Yeah,
so
so pretty
funny
much
was he was like,
for our WarpStrom viewers, if you want to get into AdMech or Tyranids, there will most likely be an influx of used models on eBay. If you want to go check them out.
oh, that's the other thing. He was constantly telling me like, "Oh, this is my first game with them in months. I used to be like really big into Death Guard," and I'm like, "Oh, that really shows. You just pushed everything up like a moron, and then expected it to survive somehow."
He pushes
Um,
shit up like how Space Marine Simp just pushed Death Shroud up.
Sometimes you just got to
I'll
do it like
never
that.
let him live that down, dude.
oh my god, I know, but that I posted the score of that game on my IG story, and then Nurgle Pill, the member of the community, like asked me what happened. I explained like, oh, he moved everything up turn one charge. He's like, oh, he's just playing like it was Death Guard. And I'm like, no, like that's the funny thing because he was like complaining about how he's not used to this because he's so used to Death Guard. So he like
Yeah.
wait, um,
You were just on
but
your
yeah,
King
no,
Von shit that game, bro.
no, actually, I was
Yeah,
like,
you're just on your King Von shit. You
yeah,
took
no,
the
he.
L.
What took me out though was after the game, he was talking about like, man, I'm gonna like drop after this. I'm
Good.
not like. And he was like I think he was like trying to draw some kind of like response, like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "It's not my fucking fault, dude. You turn one charged orcs. It's not my fault. Like, out of all the things that could have been my fault in that game, you turn one charging was not my fault. Okay, just because it says you scout eight doesn't mean you have to scout eight in my direction." That guy pissed me off, but then like the karmic gods for me just absolutely betting this guy over the table. Fuck me, because I got paired into the number two Votan guy in the Midwest. I only found this out after, by the way. I was like, oh, that was a really good guy. My friend who's supposed to be at the event, I don't know if he's listening right now, but if you are, you know who you are. Messaged me like halfway through. He's like, "Hey, I saw you got paired into so and so. I don't know if that guy wants me." He's putting his name. You can find this information. Uh, yeah, dude, he's beaten me many times. Like, oh shit, and I'm like, hey, I go to my opponent like, hey, you know, this guy's like, oh yeah, I played him a bunch of times. Like, okay, this guy's legit. But yeah, no, I will admit I was playing sloppy. Um, but like he was just kind of like fucking me. Like he cucked my kill cans for 4 turns straight with those little like scout dudes.
Is what detachment was he running?
The Terminator spam one.
Whack.
Lame.
The only like thing of note was he was wearing like a Cleveland Browns like sweater, and his entire army was orange. I'm like, is there any correlation? He's like, no, but I did. I didn't do it. I didn't paint them because that way. I bought them orange because I like the Cleveland Browns, and I'm like, that's a really peculiar way to shop for an army, man.
I mean, but
I
I
don't
like
know
the
about you.
Philadelphia Eagles, but I don't know if I'd like paint my Space Marines Eagles.
I
Yeah,
like puke green color.
Yeah.
Just looks like a Philadelphia sidewalk after St. Patty's Day.
dude, that's just Sons of Horus, like
After
quite
the
literally.
Eagles win or lose a Super Bowl.
It's also on fire the whole time.
Yeah.
You know. And then round three, I got paired into Black Templar, Iron Storm, triple
Oh
Repex.
god.
And like the
That's
guy
what
was
makes
really
sense.
nice. Like I've met him at both events I've gone to in Michigan beforehand. Like before, he was the
Yeah.
owner of the store of the RTC I did in like September, and I like saw him around in the Michigan GT. I think. I got paired into the guy. He was just really nice, and I thought I almost had him because I got Gaz in, I got my knobs in. Maz failed a 9-inch, but it's okay. The knobs failed to kill the Rep X, even with crit fives, and then Gaz just deleted it. But yeah, that's just like a horrible matchup. I think my positioning was really good that turn, mainly because the Votan guy like told me like, "Hey, here's how you want to deploy a GW4 for this list." And I'm like, that really helps. But yeah, um, Mr. Corn, so what? So speaking of games where you've just absolutely demolished someone, what silly thing do you have to say about the Tau thing?
I already talked about the Tau game.
Um,
But that's a good segue because not only did I play Tau, I played AdMech, and I kind of pieced that guy up. There were a couple parts that were like a little iffy because this was taken hold, and I wanted to take his home from him because I wanted to deny him primary because I didn't want him gaining points. And I ended up being able to like tow one berserker onto his home, which took him because berserkers are OC2, and the only thing that he had on there was something that had one OC. And I guess he didn't notice me do that or notice, you know, crucial game shit going on. Because at the start of his turn, he was like, "Okay, I get 10 points because I have two objectives," and I was like, "No, you have one objective. I own your home by one OC." And he was like, "Well, you didn't really make that like known to me. Did you make that known to me?" And I was like, "I low key, bro, I made it known to you when I put a fucking berserker on your home and took your objective from you."
You foreclosed
He was
it.
like, "Yeah, like rent is due, and your ass didn't pay, so this shit is mine now."
With his fuck
And
ass, 12-inch no deep strike guy. Like, dude,
yeah,
I don't care.
yeah, exactly. And he was like, "Well, what do you think, man? Like, I would have just moved like my fucking vehicle here and kept my home." And I was like, "Yeah, but you didn't." I don't know why I had to be like, "Hey, buddy, I just want to let you know, pal, oh buddy of mine, I'm gonna take your home from you, and that means that you don't have your home. Hope you're okay with that." Hee hee. And then there were a couple like off the wall moves that I made. I love one of my favorite things to do is to bring in my Hellbrute from strat reserves and attempt a 9-inch charge. It actually works 50% of the time. I love making charges that I've no like reason to be doing. It shouldn't work out, but he ended up taking my home for a turn, and so I ended up bringing in my Hellbrute from Strivers, made a 9-inch charge, cleared him off, and then I also like spiked a bunch of my saves that saved my 20 break of berserkers. And Tryhard was outside with me when we were talking to the guy, and he was like, "Yeah, if you really think about it, if you wouldn't have made that 9-inch charge and if you wouldn't have spiked all those saves, I probably it would have much different game. I think I would have won that game." And I was like, "Yeah, that's why I tried 9-inch charge. That's why I made those saves so that I could win the game."
If you really think about it, if you just didn't deploy your army, I would have won the game.
if you really
Yeah,
think about it, if you just played, if I played with completely different, I would have gone 4-1 at the London GT.
ooh,
Yeah.
ooh,
Good old LGBT.
yeah,
Best song of the year.
I had to put that. I had to sneak that one in. Sorry.
it's funny.
The London Good Boys tournament.
Speaking of, we now to get into the second half of the episode though, for just tips in general, like um just general good sportsmanship. I feel like Tryhard, you have the most experience when it comes to this stuff. So what
I definitely
general like
do. I definitely do. But I will say I have a couple different principles when it comes to playing 40K at a competitive level. The first is always have fun.
very, very true.
The second one is sit when you can.
Yeah, that's a big.
Because you're standing a
Understandable.
lot. Sit when you can. The third is play by intent. Be communicative with your opponent as much as possible. Let them know what you're trying to do, and just be transparent, because it is a two-way street. You know, there's almost consent to the game.
I guess that guy didn't
and,
consent to me taking it down.
There was no
and
consent in that cow match.
there's
No.
no consent in the tower Tyranid
There was no
match. There was
consent.
no consent in my AdMech matches, dude. And then my last part that I like to say, and this is me personally, depending on how I'm feeling during the day, I will often ask my opponents what type of game they'd like to have. And when they respond with, "What do you mean?" I usually say, "Well, I like to ask all my opponents if they would like to have a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 lobby style game or a golf match style game." So I like to give them the option for how much shit I'm going to talk. And I'll talk shit on myself as well. I'll be like, "Damn, dude, that sucked. That was a bad move." And they'll be like, "Ah, damn, yeah, you're right." And we'll go back and forth. So if your opponent is chill like that, you can have a little fun game inside the game where you guys are just talking shit the whole time. And that is fun. It generally pans out more with your teammates and your frequently played buddies. But, you know, if you pair into somebody you know and you feel like you're comfortable with them, definitely ask them if they want to have a Modern Warfare 2 lobby style game. Tell them you fucked their mom after charging them 9 inches.
Shit.
It's very satisfying to do that.
Next game that
You
I
can
have with
even
Big Shot, I'm definitely
Call them
pulling
a
that line.
slur. Don't do that though. Don't call them
Yeah,
slur.
don't do
It's not
that.
nice.
Don't do
But you could. Those are my advices.
that. I got a couple little quips here. Make sure you stay hydrated because, like Tryhard said, you're standing a lot, you're moving around, you're playing with toys, you're thinking. You don't really think like going into, oh, I'm gonna go play Warhammer. I'm gonna go play a Warhammer tournament that you're gonna like get thirsty. Yeah, you're gonna get thirsty. You're gonna get dehydrated. I like to have uh, a hydrating drink and a caffeine drink with me most times through a tournament. It definitely helps. It makes your mind clear, lets you think better.
But tell me how on the Starbucks cups from the Starbucks we got in the morning, the bitch wrote "sweet treat" on them, and I'm thinking
Did
like, yeah, she did. And I'm thinking like, yeah, of course it's a sweet treat. This drink has like 600 grams of sugar in it.
Yeah.
Don't shame me. Don't shame me with my sweet treat. How about you mind your damn business?
Going into a tournament, do not expect to win, or don't stress out about winning. Kind of just piggying back off of what Tryhard said. Focus on having fun. Wins will come with time. I remember my very first Warhammer tournament was a GT, and I ended up going 2-3. I lost my first 2 games, and I was fucking upset. I was beating myself up, and then I won my last 3, and I was having a good time.
You were
The
3-2.
submarine, yeah, I went 3-2. My submarine method, patent pending, is where it's at. I'm gonna let you guys in. The submarine method is truly unmatched. What you do, you go to an RTT. Okay, this works. GTs as well. RTTs are it's much more effective. You go there, you get your shit rocked round 1. Okay,
On purpose,
and then
you bend over,
on
you let them rock your shit.
On purpose, you get rocked. And then you pair into a fucking bumbling, knuckle dragging street tier, and you let your frustrations out on them. And you then, so you got a crushing defeat and a hollow victory under your belt. And then you pair into someone usually around your skill set. And 9 times out of 10, you'll end up in like the top 50% of the tournament. And it's great.
So I will preface as a veteran, that is terrible advice.
That's my advice.
That is bad advice.
It's advice if you want to have fun, but if you
Yeah,
No.
advice if you want to have fun.
No, gentlemen, let me cook real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna educate you real quick. So in GTs, typically points don't matter as the first qualifier for pairings. So it's all win-loss. So like if you lose your first game, you're right. You're gonna probably play somebody. You're gonna play somebody who lost their first game. So you're right.
Yeah.
But don't expect like, oh, I scored 40. I'm gonna play somebody else who scored 40 and is trash. So it's not bad advice, but I wanted to TED talk real quick about how it works. In an RTT, you're right though, it does work.
Yeah. Okay. Let me preface. This is what you do at an RTT, not a GT.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
works.
All right, I don't really have like much advice, but as someone who's like really transitioned from pure casual to getting into competitive in the past 6 months or so, here's what I can tell you that's like really helps. One, have easy access to your rules in some capacity. And by that I mean have a method where you can pull it up without having to rely on the Wi-Fi. Okay, if you can have some way like have a printed piece out or a computer with a tab open, it makes life for you and your opponent much easier because if you have a asshole opponent who tries to gaslight you about how your own army works, you can very easily shut them down, one. But then two, it also helps you remind you if you are like me and haven't played orcs for melee in a while and haven't played that many games with certain units. So that's nice. The energy drink Gatorade combo is ideal for me personally, but you can go on your own for that. And then I'd say the last thing I think that's like generally important is for just expectations. It really only matters about if you have fun. Like chances are if you're having fun, you're probably gonna win a game. But if you're really having fun, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. It really like legitimately.
These internet points are dead fucking serious.
If I don't pull at least a positive net kill death ratio at a RTT, I'm gonna kill myself when I get home.
And then kill my opponent.
I'm
Oh yeah,
gonna take us both down.
one other thing, just because this will like piss me off today, please don't. Whatever the fuck you do, don't drop because you lost round one. Okay,
Oh my god, that's such a bitch made move.
like
That is
actually,
a bitch move. The only circumstances where you should drop is if you legitimately have an emergency.
I'd say that or like you realize you are not having fun in the slightest playing your army that day.
Yeah.
Um,
You realize you should play Magic the Gathering. And you sell all your 40k stuff the same day and buy Furby Magic the Gathering cards.
Yeah, you can sell an entire Warhammer army for like 1,000, and then you could maybe get like 2 or 3 secret layer box.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, which in
Dude.
total is like maybe 15 cards.
are you guys also X-Magic players?
Nah,
I
dude.
am.
I'm not with that nerd shit.
I was really into Magic in high school and got out of it, and then I tried to get back into it. And I remember bringing a deck that I played when I was like in high school, and I just got the absolute fuck beaten out of me. The game is totally different. I can't get back into it without shelling hundreds of dollars on brand new cards.
Yeah, I ported over from esports to 40k. So I miss the whole like TCG scene. I had cards when I was like a little kid, but it was just like MLG game battles kind of shut down and there wasn't like organized play as much as there used to be. And I was like, I'm gonna find a different game, and I just happened to fall into 40k.
I'm gonna give you all
Yeah,
a bit
for
of
me-
corn cell lore. When I was 16, I worked as a waiter at a little mom and pop restaurant. I got fired because I called a customer a cunt.
She was a cunt though.
Yeah, she was being a
Probably.
cunt. So it was kind of warranted.
Like, hey, you're being a cunt, and she's like, what did you say to me? And I said, I
parents,
said I can't do
yeah,
that. And you gaslit her, and
yeah,
she actually burnt the shop down.
yeah, it
No,
killed me.
she actually pulled up Wahapedia on her phone and checked if your power claws were actually strength 9 AP2 damage 2.
Yeah, but my parents were like, "What are you gonna do for a job?" And I was like, "Fuck, I don't know. I guess I'll go look for another job." And so what I would do is I would go to my local LGS and I would play Magic the Gathering money matches. And I
Oh
actually
yeah,
made
you're
like a
just a
decent,
magic shark.
yeah, bait like dead ass.
That's dope.
And I would,
I respect it.
yeah, and I would come home with like straight cash in my pocket, and I
You'd
would go
hand
to
it
my
to your
dad and be
parents
like,
and be like, "This
"Yeah,"
one's for you."
I was like, "Can you deposit this at the bank for me when you go? Thanks."
I
And,
like to think
and
you
it
looked
got
at
to
them
the
and you
point
said,
where I
"Buy
was,
yourself something nice, sweetheart,"
yeah,
and you gave them a little kiss.
yeah, don't ask where it came
And you
from.
slipped $5 in their shirt pocket.
Yeah.
and
No,
$5 and
was
like 64 cents in change.
it was a total of $10. But it's a 5 and 5 ones, but the 5 is on front, so you think it's more.
Yeah.
And
All
my
the ones
parents,
are like crimply because
yeah,
somebody who kept them in their bra. I hate that,
uh,
dude. I hate when
I would
women be
bring
pulling
home
money
like,
out their
like
bra.
yeah, I would bring home like a decent chunk of change, and it got to the point where my parents like sat me down and they're like, Taylor, or fuck, they're like, Corncell, where are you
Are
getting
you
this
selling
money from?
drugs?
And I was like, I go to this shop and I play Magic the Gathering for money. And the look on their face almost made it seem like they wish I was selling drugs.
It's just like, I wish you,
I wish you were cooler.
I wish you could crack in the air fryer. You'd run this city.
Think of the potential that you're wasting.
I don't even know why they'd be mad at that, like, honestly.
I would be disappointed if my child played Magic the Gathering.
I think I would too.
I'd be like, really? You're playing Magic the Gathering?
You know, dude, my chemistry teacher was the goat. Because yeah, I guess like in a way he got me into 40K because like he showed me the store that he goes for Magic cards, and then that was where they had 40K stuff too. But you know, he would have like really close fakes to like $800 cards that he would just give out for like to people who did well on like in class activities. Like, oh, you win a Kahoot, here's like a replica of a Black Lotus. Um, so I locked the fuck in for his class, and I got like the really limited edition like gold art mana crypt soul ring and something else. I rolled up to the LGS and they're like, dude, where the fuck did you get that? Like, oh, it was my teacher. It's like I felt so cool, dude.
We
I
had a
rolled up.
sub when I was in school who ran a LGS, and I would go there, and I would go there to play D&D a couple times, and I tried D&D, and I was like, this shit's kind of cringe. I'm good. But then I saw a White Dwarf magazine in like these little like lock cabinet, and I was like, yo, what's this? This looks cool. And it was like a second edition era White Dwarf magazine, and it had like the old metal orcs on it. I was like, these
Oh,
guys are
nice.
cool as hell. And it was downhill from there.
My
I'll never financially recover
uh,
from that magazine.
another corn cell lord. I was in the army for a bit, and I was deployed to Lithuania, and I was reading a book because there was nothing to fucking do during that day. And one of the Lithuanian soldiers comes up to me and he's like, "What are you reading?" And I showed the book to him, and he was like, I want to read that book. I'm going to give you a book." And he went back to his room and he handed me a copy of Horus Rising, the Horus Heresy novel.
Yeah. Oh
And
my
I
It
was
was
like, "Yo, this
god.
downhill from there.
is
You were
low
horse
key. This is
build.
great." And then the day that I got back from Lithuania, I went to the shop and I bought the old Space Marine Tactical Squad. My very first army was Ultramarines.
You got Horus pilled, and you made the conscious decision to buy Ultramarines.
Well, because I didn't know what the fuck to buy.
What do you
No, listen,
What
I
do you
didn't know
mean
what
by
the fuck
that?
to buy. And I went to the store and I was talking to the guy and I was like, I want to play and paint Warhammer. What do I
And he's
get?
like, dude, Ultramarines are so cool. They get so many releases.
No, in hindsight, I wish I stayed an Ultramarines player.
He's just like, dude, Calgar has one model right now. Just think of the stocks.
In 5 years, there could be like 8.
There'll be like 5 Calgar models, and you can field them all in an army, and it's called Oops All Calgar. Yo, speaking of dumb bits, can we do a fucking mock 500 Worlds box? Eventually.
Speaking of dumb bits, dude, they released Sloppity's Tree Farm as an AOS spearhead.
They took my thunder.
Yeah, they have the cancer tree and like generic Sloppity.
Dude, those dicks, dude. They listen to WarpStrom radio and they're like, these guys are onto something. And GW came to my house and they threw me a quarter and they said, "Keep it up, kid." And I said, "What?" And he left.
You know what that means?
Our lawyer.
It means that, dude. You know what that means though?
What does that mean?
The GW manager heard that podcast.
He did.
Dude,
it's over
to HQ.
Dude, I'm so cooked.
You're so fucked.
You're gonna be walking down the street and then there's gonna be a bag over your head.
Yeah, they're gonna put you in a black van. And they're gonna fucking take you to Nottingham.
And we'll never see you again.
I think the real torture is that I'd be in the UK for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you can make a friend of the special guy over there, though. I heard he's pretty cool. Plays Blood Angels.
I think he plays Blood Angels. I heard he's really good. I heard that he supposedly went 4-1 at LBGT.
He pretty much went 4-1 at London Good Boys tournament.
Mr. Cornfeld.
I heard
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty good at this game. I went
you might
2
have
and 3.
Slight mistake for the Forge Fiend model.
Do you have a certain story about a certain Blood Angels player crashing out over TTS?
I do, actually. I'll tell it now. So this individual and I would play a lot of 40k together. Never once has he beaten me with Blood Angels, and every single other time that I've played Blood Angels, I've lost. I never win against Blood Angels unless it's against him. So let that speak volumes.
He's really good with Blood Angels.
Yeah. No, one of the best Blood Angels players I've ever met in my life.
Shit. Holy shit, this was Jason Bourne.
Yeah. So in this game, this was in World Leader, by the way. So I was still running Angron at the time. I charged Angron into a 6-stack of Sanguinary Guard. And I pick up like maybe 3 of them because he spiked his saves. He comes back. Angron's at like half, maybe. His turn rolls around, and we get to the fight phase. He finishes up his charges, and he's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Okay, defender. Since I'm the defender, I pick. I'm going to activate with Angron first." And he's like, "What do you mean? No, like it's my turn." Mind you, this is a man who plays a melee. I should know how the rules of melee work. And I'm like, "No, dude. Like I'm the defender."
Pair up against the Tau player. Do you think he'd win?
I think maybe. I think it might be an honest match. Like I think it would be down to dice rolls.
Do you think dice would be slammed down?
Yeah. I think you get pretty fucking mad. But anyway, I'm like, no, dude. I'm the defender. All the charge combats have been finished. Now that we're into like pre-exit combat, I get to activate first. I'm going to activate with Angron. Well, I didn't know that you could do that. It's really bad sportsmanship that you didn't like make me aware of that, because then I would have. And then he proceeds to like try to force a take back. He's like, well, if I would have known that, then I would have fallen back. I would have paid a CP fall back in charge with the Sangard into Angron. And I was like, but you didn't. He's like, so you're not going to let me have this take back? And I'm like, no, dude. Like, I'm not going to have let you have a game altering take back just because you, who plays a melee army, does not understand the rules of Melee. That's on you. And then he throws an absolute fucking bitch fit about how I'm being a bad sport and not a good friend, and I'm not letting him have fun play 40K. And I'm like, all right, dude, have the take
So,
back.
so I think the theme of today is people who question sportsmanship are often bad sports.
Yes. He kills Angron. I had Fight on Death as a blessing. I pop Fight on Death, clear out the rest of the Sangard. The next turn, I roll blessings. One of you guess what 3 of those dice were?
Oh, those are definitely threes.
Maybe a
Yeah.
6.
Maybe
Maybe a-
6,
Yeah,
maybe a
more.
7.
it was 6-7. It was I revived Angron and he was like actually fucking fuming. Like I heard him. He's like, I need a minute. He actually like gets up and walks away from the fucking computer for like a hot second. He ends up losing the match and he's fucking fuming.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
dude. I don't
What
know,
what
man.
an interesting individual.
Do you think that that we should move GW HQ from Nottingham to the United States? Because if you really think about it, like what have the British done for the world besides like Doctor Who and fuck ass food?
They yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to think like
Even their
Harry Potter and then no, she's an awful person.
I don't think that was a good contribution. I think they moved GWHQ here, and
yeah.
just we can keep that store open, but like it's no longer the headquarters.
We
Speaking of, they made dog shit terrain. That same individual that I mentioned previously, after a crushing like 10-0 lose streak against me, very boldly stated that if we would have played on UKTC rain, he would have eaten my ass for breakfast dinner. And I said, okay, get on. And my very first game on UKTC terrain, I table him.
So UKTC terrain is pretty much like beans on toast, but terrain.
It was actually the most abysmal dog shit terrain I've ever seen in my fucking life. I will never
I
ever again play on UKTC.
So here's a funny thing about that same individual in UKTC. This is the Super Bowl.
This that was one
Yeah,
of the
this is
funniest
like
fucking lines I've ever said.
oh my god, this is like 2 day. No, this is like the day after I started my Instagram account. I was like at like 20 followers, okay, and
Yeah.
I've
This is
had
prior to the t-shirt or before the t-shirt?
this is prior to the T-shirt. The T-shirt was like 5 days after.
Nice.
Uh, so I was just like, this individual paying TTS. I'm like, you know what? Let's do this. I got this. And he didn't say he was looking for comp practice. He just said he's looking for practice on UKTC. And I said I'd be using a less serious list. And he said it was fine. The list in question had oh my god, Devastators, like the Firstborn Marines, a Box Dread, and a Drop Pod. So you can already tell this is not a serious. Anywho, he plays me on UKTC. He beats me because I've never played on this terrain before, and I like was forced to use the drop pod in like a really unoptimal manner. It's like, yeah, I lost. It's fine. I don't really care though. But I was like really screwing with the guy towards the end. Like I was like overwatching with an Invader ATB on like a full strength unit because I thought it was funny. He was getting really mad about that. But like afterwards, he like pinged everyone. He's like, "Who's the real big shot?" and like spamming the score and like posting on his story and stuff. I'm like, dude, it's not that big of a deal. And like a few days later, he was like talking big game in the same channel. I was like, dude, this dude played like it was the fucking Super Bowl because he didn't like that I played T-Sons 3 months ago.
This is the same dude that refused to play me because I'm too good for him.
Yeah, he actually like actively dodged him.
He's just like, I'm not gonna play you because I can't win. I was like, are you sure you want to do that? Because like we could play and I'll teach you a couple things and you'll get better. And he's just like, no,
No, it was
I don't
never
have
about
playing to
learning.
you.
I will not respect your opinion if, like, as a 40K player, unless you try to, like, have competitive games in your life.
I will not respect your 40K opinion if you play on UKTC. I will generalize to thousands of people
Or
right now.
or if you think Crusade is a good format.
Yeah, if Crusade is
It
your
is a good
preferred format,
It's a good
no.
format, but if it's your preferred format, yeah, you're retarded.
No. One more thing, before we call it quits, I wanted to tell this quick story about the RTT. So first thing in the morning during announcements, my boy Greg has Mrs. Greg drop him off food, and he got this like fuck ass shredded salmon, pickled onion, ginger on rice breakfast, Chinese dish or whatever. And he opened the box and was eating it and drinking Starbucks. And and he was walking towards me, and I said, "Bro, whatever you're eating smells like something died in there. I love you, but stay the hell away from me until you're done eating." And I literally went to the back of the venue as far as possible. I could still smell it.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like, he opened the
I
box, I
remember
gagged. That's how bad it was. And he's like, "You think this smells bad now? Wait till you smell it coming out." And I'm like, I'm good. I'm good on that.
Grown ass individual, by the way.
Dude, grown ass man. I love the guy. He's a pal. But if you're listening to this, never come at me with that fuck ass food again. I'll end you. I'll end your whole career with your Eldar ass army and your fuck ass food. I love you, but I will end you.
Did you plug the podcast at your event?
Dude, the whole
He did, yeah,
time. The whole time. Dude, I was marketing the shit out of it. I'm like, "Hey, you want to listen to a podcast where they have gay Primarchs? This is for you."
I tried to with the first guy, and then I realized like early on he was an ass, and then he like very quickly like was making apparent that he had zero interest in hearing anything about it at all. And then no one
So
else
you
like,
kept talking about it. You're just like, "Yeah, by the way, by the way, my
and
podcast
then
is
like,
really funny. We're gonna talk about you tonight on it."
yeah, by the way, if you somehow like after this event, and this is like 2 weeks later, and you're like scrolling through your BCP at 2 in the morning, you're like reminiscing on this match, like, oh man, how could I have beaten those orcs? That guy was cheating for sure. Those strength 9 AP2 power claws that I had to check 3 times on Wahapedia in a 2 hour session. Dude,
Yeah.
whatever could I have done? If you're listening to this right now, I'm not fucking sorry. If I see you again, it's on site with this match.
Use promo code WarpStorm at betterhelp.com
For 30% off your first appointment.
for 0% off on your first appointment. Maybe go see a person in real life and not on the computer. Touch grass.
But if like genuinely I'm not saying names. If I see you in that store again, I'm not playing a pickup game with you. I hope you know that.
He's gonna catch a fade. You're on your King Von arc.
I was on my dude, I
I
was on my Chara arc. Only Corn Cell knows what that means.
was
I
a
was
demon during. I was an actual demon during the Tau match. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
That's
I was a
right. The last
demon this whole event, dude. I didn't even wear my black Air Forces.
one last story, and I'll shut up. So I run 3 exalted 8-bound, led with a slaughterbound with glaive, and I charge into his riptide, and I had my codex open and everything, and he took a look at it, and he was like, "Okay, I fail like 4 saves, 2 apiece, right?" And I was like, "No, exalted 8-bound are 3 apiece because you're a vehicle." And he was like, "Oh, okay." He's down to this many wounds now, and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then I roll a slaughterbound, and I'm like, "Okay, cool." this many saves and then take 2 dev wounds, and he fails like a couple more saves, and he's like, okay, 2, right? And I was like, no. He's like, 3? And I was like, no. He has glaive. It's damage 4. And I actually watched like his soul get torn apart in front of me. That I one tapped his riptide instantly.
It's a T9 vehicle. What do you expect?
Couldn't even be a vehicle.
Fuck if I know.
It's like
I was like,
it's like
I
a
was like,
Kia
hey,
Soul.
listen.
Yeah, it's the
It's
Kia
at the beginning
Soul
of the
of
game.
vehicles.
Yeah. I
My friend,
told him dead ass. I was like, whatever this 3-man of Exalted 8-bound touch will die. No holds bar. My absolute favorite thing that happens during a game 40k is when I charge something and then my opponent goes, don't even bother rolling, and they just pick up the unit.
Yeah.
that happened. Dude, I'm gonna make one remark and then we actually got to close out because we were like, let's have like a quick RTT recap episode. And we've been yapping for 2
I'm
hours.
tired, boss. I'm tired.
Fuck. Oh my god. My friend drives a Kia Soul, and every single time I see her drive the Kia Soul, it makes me want to merge into oncoming traffic. That thing is hideous. And if you're listening to this, I'm not going to say your name because you haven't said if you want me to say your name on the pod. I'm sorry, I do not like your car. Your white 2013 Kia Soul.
Yeah, fuck Kia Souls. And
Real.
fuck Jeeps that are secretly SRTs.
Real.
Yeah. Anyways, to close us out, gentlemen, I want to announce our next episode coming up. We're going to have a very special episode where we're reading the absolute best, the best 40k fanfics of all time ever created. We specifically curated this playlist of fanfics with your interest in mind. If you want to listen to some of the best unknown authors write their heart and soul out about the fiction they love, tune into next week's episode of WarpStrom Radio with a special guest.
I will say that one is going to be a very special bonus content episode because reading it
so good
genuinely made
that
my
it's going to be on
stomach hurt.
Patreon.
Yeah, it doesn't. No, like unironically though, it's a little steamy. Okay, you might fail the November challenge.
It's
low key.
It's actually so steamy that we had to push our glasses up while reading it, and one of us got a nosebleed like an anime guy.
$5 to anyone in the comments that can accurately tell who it is and write a 3-paragraph MLA cited essay.
Yes. So tune in to that awesome piece of media. Also, if you are subscribed to the Patreon, thank you. We do have bonus content available on the Patreon and on our YouTube channel if you are subscribed and are a member of the Patreon. This bonus content is the Gay Primarchs episode we keep referencing. It is really funny. So if you want to listen to the first official episode of WarpStrom Radio, make sure to subscribe to the Patreon at the $10 price. $5 price gets you specific painting coaches advice on how to paint your models with paint and paint brushes. And I don't know, do you use water, right, at some point in the process?
Yep. I will say
I'm not the painting person, so I don't know.
I've consulted her. She's very in-depth, very detail-oriented, really great human being. I'd highly recommend you get that $5 tier if you're looking to level up your painting. I can vouch 100%. The profits go to her. It's a great deal for both parties. So yeah, check it out. But we'll catch you guys around next week on WarpStrom Radio.
Bye.
Bye.
If you play AdMech, I hate you.